Dragon's Dogma 2 is the much-anticipated sequel to Capcom's 2012 action RPG. The game continues the tale of the Arisen in a vast fantasy world filled with towering creatures and dynamic combat mechanics. Players can expect an improved version of the pawn system where they command AI-controlled companions and deep customization options for characters. The game will explore new vocations, combat skills, and an expanded open world, enhancing the features that made the first game a cult hit.
If you run somewhere occupied by other characters, you may end up naturally joining forces. But reactions will vary character to character. Some will be frightened, while others will show courage. Their relationship with you, the Arisen, will vary based on the actions you take. That, in turn, will change their relationships with each other. A variety of characters await you on your journey through Dragon's Dogma 2. Over 1,000...
Black Myth Wukong is an action RPG deeply rooted in Chinese mythology, particularly inspired by the classic novel Journey to the West. Players control the Destined One, a figure reminiscent of the legendary Monkey King, Sun Wukong. The game features fast-paced, melee-based combat with a heavy focus on dodging, parrying, and using special abilities such as transformations and spellcasting. The world is filled with mythical enemies and bosses, and exploration is encouraged for finding hidden rewards. Star Wars Dark Forces Remaster is a modernized version of the classic 1995 first-person shooter set in the Star Wars universe. In the game, you play as Kyle Katarn, a mercenary who becomes involved with the Rebel Alliance, discovering and thwarting the Empire's Dark Trooper project. The remaster brings significant updates, including 4K resolution, 120 frames per second, enhanced lighting, and modern gamepad support. The original gameplay, featuring puzzles, mazes, and a variety of weapons, has been retained with improvements for modern hardware.
Jabba, what have you done with Jan? If that thing down there is any indication of what we're dealing with, we're gonna need more firepower.
Stop where you are!
Reveil is a psychological first-person thriller set in a surreal circus world inspired by the 1960s. Players take on the role of Walter Thompson, a former stage builder who wakes up disoriented and starts searching for his missing wife and daughter. As Walter delves deeper into the mysteries of the circus, the lines between reality, memory, and hallucination blur. The game focuses on narrative exploration, puzzle solving, and psychological horror, making it a deeply atmospheric and unsettling experience. The Alone in the Dark remake reimagines the classic 1992 survival horror game with modern graphics and updated gameplay. Set in the 1920s in a decaying mansion in the Deep South, players can choose between two protagonists, private investigator Edward Carnbuyer, Emily Hartwood, who is searching for her missing uncle. The game emphasizes puzzle solving, exploration, and survival against terrifying monsters. Fans of psychological horror and atmospheric storytelling can expect a rich and creepy experience.
Huh?
The Tomb Raider Remastered collection includes the first 3 iconic games in the series, complete with all expansions like Unfinished Business, Golden Mask, and The Lost Artifact. These remastered versions feature updated graphics, enhanced lighting, and performance improvements while retaining the original charm. Players can Set in early 20th century Warsaw during the rule of Imperial Russia, the game features a mix of historical elements and dark fantasy, where players control Victor, a thaumaturge capable of taming spirit-like beings called salutors. These beings play a key role in both combat and manipulation, allowing the player to influence the world around them. The game offers morally ambiguous choices, turn-based combat, and in-depth character development, creating a dark, mature RPG experience.
You'll lose. You always do. Your own damned arrogance will bring your downfall.
Flintlock. The Siege of Dawn is an action RPG from a 44 games set in an open world where players follow Norvanik and her magical companion Enki on a journey to challenge the gods. The story takes place after the door to the afterlife has opened, unleashing an army of the undead. The game blends various combat styles, including axe-wielding, gunplay, and magic, offering players a dynamic and creative combat system. It also features exploration across vast, dangerous environments, including desert sands and ancient ruins.
Help me seal him away. Stem the tide of destruction. It's the least you can do. No escape for you.
Let's go!
Perfect!
You will bow.
Come on then! Fight me and die!
An interesting find. I'm sure you'll find a use for it.
I'll just take this.
I hope my work has served you well so far.
No rest till dawn!
Get ready.
Frostpunk 2 is the highly anticipated sequel to the original survival city builder from 11-bit studios. Set 30 years after the events of the first game, players must once again manage the survival of the city of New London in a post-apocalyptic, ice-covered world. The game introduces new factions and political systems, forcing players to navigate complex decisions as the city's population grows. In addition to survival mechanics, players will now have to expand the city, balancing energy needs, resource management, and faction diplomacy. The sequel adds features like the Utopia Builder Sandbox mode, which lets players customize their starting scenarios.
Left to suffocate. We need a place to work.
Who else will feed our families?
Stuart, this squalor will kill her. Where are the homes you've promised?
Can we all receive equal rations?
Hospitals are not a place for experiments. Free education for our children.
Secure and stable growth.
City for the citizens!
Steward, hear your people!
We want a say in how we run the city.
The time of tyranny has ended!
Our delegates will make sure of that.
Let them vote!
Yes, vote.
Steward!
Do you hear us?
Steward!
Steward, what about us?
What?
Impossible.
Ad Infernum is an immersive survival horror game set at a desolate gas station in the middle of the desert where the player becomes stranded after a car crash. The game mixes psychological horror with survival elements as players must navigate through dark rituals, demonic entities, and eerie hallucinations that chip away at the character's sanity. The nerve system tracks the player's mental state, causing unpredictable audio-visual hallucinations as the character loses grip on reality.